Song plays, and everybody shut up.
This episode should be called Josh was right.
God, this is a long theme.
I feel like I'm in a Nintendo game right now.
I'll cut it down when I
We'll get it down to a hard 13, 15
after
seconds.
vacation.
Lessons learned, boys.
Boom.
What lesson?
There we go.
Theme songs are
Episode.
not super long.
All right, guys. You are listening to episode 71 of the Paper Player Podcast, and my goodness, do we have a ton of spoilers that just came out over the last 7 days since we casted. New things to this live show is we will be taking callers at the end of the show, so if you're interested in doing that, you can just hop in our Discord. Any questions that you guys ask throughout the stream, we can answer at the end. I know we were trying to answer them during the stream yet last week. It was a little choppy for me, but aside from all of that, I'm your host, Tony, and I'm joined with Josh, Jeff, and JB. I was going to do a roundtable at Magic, but because Josh 4-0'd F&M and there's so many spoilers, we're just going to have to skip past that.
We do have to
I
talk
beat
about one.
reigning RCQ champion Ollie, and we played for his Atlanta invite, so I'm actually going to Atlanta because I dunked on him.
That's how it checks out, too.
Nice.
that's how it really works. So,
And
I mean,
we do
they
have
are-
to talk
hang
about
on,
one
wait,
thing
we
for
have to
that.
talk about the two Doomsday players. Two Doomsday players cast Thassa's Oracle for value, and like they
Neither
didn't
of
know
them
what
knew
it did.
They asked each other what it did.
well, that's the appropriate
Be
response.
ashamed
I've
of
ever seen.
themselves. Reading the card explains the card.
I want to remind you that they did lose all the emails, or you had to email the stores that you won your RCQ at.
Yep.
So if we just give Josh's email instead of Ollie's, we can get Josh the RCQ champion.
No one would be the wiser unless Josh becomes the champion, and everybody's going, hey, wait a
I'm just gonna
minute.
go and tell him my name is Ollie and play in his spot.
Yeah, dude.
Great.
Yeah. All right, dudes.
I wonder if that's ever happened. If like someone has like
I'm
played
sure
for
back in
someone
the
else.
day.
Yeah, that happened not in person, but it's definitely happened on Magic Online for sure.
My original DCI
sure,
had
I'm-
a fake name. Like
Yeah.
when I first started when I was like 11 or whatever.
No,
Mm-hmm.
you're like, what's your real name? Like, I don't have ID. Jeff, Cripple. Oh no, I meant Clipple. Too late. They entered you in as Cripple.
Need someone with like a arena screen name with like Big Donger 69 or whatever, and get on stream.
Both 69 and 420 are part of this episode.
That's true.
There'll be big numbers. We'll talk about that a little bit
They'll be
later.
the
But
most expensive. number.
dudes, so in 7 days there is a million spoilers, or not even spoilers, just news overload of just literally everything happening in the next like 2 months, and there's a big outlash towards the community, but I think it's kind of died down a little bit. But the list is up on our show notes, but we're going to be going over the Brothers War spoilers, the Transformer cards, the Universes Beyond that are inside there, serialized cards, retro frame cards, and schematics. Essentially, they're the same as the Mystical Archives in each pack of Brothers War. Brothers War Commander decks, the all old border, which is Urza versus Mishra. Game Nights 2, which they announced as well. Pioneer Challenger decks, Commander Starter decks, which are going to be geared for newer players coming into the game. Secret Lair Booster Box. Dominaria Remastered spoilers, they gave some more of those. The 2023 Regional Championship promos, which are pretty sick, but all blue. 30th anniversary for, year stamp promos, and then also the 30th anniversary $1,000 non-tournament legal booster boxes. And then to finish it all off, we'll talk about the last 5 Secret Layers that have been announced, which are Post Malone, Final Fantasy, Assassin's Creed, Astrology, and then the one that got released, or it wasn't supposed to get released today. I think it was supposed to get released tomorrow on the day of it, what is it, guys?
Is it
The
the
Orcs?
Warhammer one?
Yeah, Warhammer 40k Orcs.
Yeah, the one with what is it, Ground Assault or whatever.
For what it's worth, I don't think we need to mention anything other than those names because there's nothing else to report on that.
No, it's just pretty vanilla. But all right, but I think the year that they're coming out is all right. Well, I gotta get this. Hold on. This Facebook thing is gonna keep popping up, and it's gonna drive me absolutely insane. But keep talking, guys. I'm gonna reveal the next thing.
I knew like half of these coming, and then like coming into it, and then that $1,000 box thing happened, and I forgot all of them.
Brothers War
Forgot
spoilers.
everything except the $1,000 box.
Yeah.
So first up, we have Urza, Lord Protector. Costs 1, a white and a blue. Legendary creature, human artificer. 2/4. Artifact, instant, and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. And then you can tap 7. And if you own both the Urza and an artifact, name the Might Stone and the Meek Stone or Weak Stone, you exile them and you meld them into Urza Planeswalker. Which I can't read, the text is too small. It's got 4 abilities. It's
5.
busted.
It's got 6 abilities.
abilities.
6 abilities.
And you can activate them twice per turn.
That's one of the abilities.
It's got a static ability or something.
Yeah,
So
it's
you
got
can
the you can double activate.
Yeah, he's pretty busted.
Yeah.
I actually don't think this. I think the Might Stone and the Meat Stone or Weak Stone. So 5 mana artifact. When at ETBs, you draw 2 cards or give a creature -5/-5.
Yeah.
And then you can tap it for 2 colorless. And then you can only for artifact spells. For what it's worth, I don't think the turn 3, 4, 5 into the Urza is very I think that's going to be a thing in standard at least.
Is this not the best printed? I'm not saying easiest to get out, making it good, but overall abilities, is this not the best printed Planeswalker of all time?
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
Oko's better.
That's true.
Really?
Oko
I
comes
like
out on
that
turn
name,
2.
but-
This
There's that-
ults in 2 turns.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
turn
but
after
it
comes
doesn't
out.
No, it
Yeah.
doesn't. It gets elked.
Yeah, it definitely gets elked. I mean, if I go Oko and you play Urza, you're gonna lose a game.
Well, this just exiles Oko when it comes into play.
Sure. So you're telling me that if I have an Oko in play, and you have an Urza and a Meat Stone and a Mike Stone, and you don't have 7 mana, I can turn any of them into an elk, and it's gone.
Well, I actually only
Right,
need
the
5
creature-
because the Might
You
Stone
can
pays for
once
the
the
ability.
Planeswalker is out, the Urza is pretty. The Urza versus Oko, Urza Planeswalker versus Oko is kind of like a horse apiece because Oko can't elk a Planeswalker.
Yeah, it's like saying
So
like,
Oko-
oh, I Ugin's better than Oko because when Ugin comes down, you just minus and kill all the elks in Oko. Yes, that is correct.
But Oko definitely elks the artifact and the creature, and
So
it's
I
pretty
do
busted.
agree though that this is something that I think could see play in a control deck as a finisher, or you could even do
right.
ramp and do turn 3, 4, 5.
dude,
You don't even-
It's
It's
a-
-5.
oh,
-5 is real key. That literally kills Shieldred, and that's the biggest creature you deal with in standard right now.
yeah,
It just
Even
comes
though
down.
this has
kills
the
it.
same stats.
as Shieldred.
Hmm.
Yeah, isn't Shield? Oh no, Shieldred's a 4/5. Sorry.
Yeah, she's a 4 or 5.
Yeah, either way, it's just. I mean, this card is. Honestly, I think the Urza Lord Protector is amazing for EDH, just making everything cost 1 cheaper in those style of decks. So it's like Grand Arbiter, but then also hits your artifacts. So that's going to be absolutely nuts. And then on top of that, you got the Planeswalker portion of it all, which I don't know if you'll even need the Might Stone and the Weak Stone. Might be too weak for EDH, but I don't see why you wouldn't just auto include it. But the card's powerful, and if you do get to flip into this awesome Planeswalker, it's amazing. It's
I still read.
I mean, it's got disgusting abilities all up and down. It's just
It's pretty good. It's pushed.
yeah. I mean, well, that's how meld should feel. When you get 2 cards that essentially polymerization and fuse, yeah, that's how it should feel. It should just be, I did this, I'm gonna end the game now because it requires so much up front.
Mm-hmm.
And then
All
the
right,
other,
next up.
yep, boom, Mishra. This
Aw,
card's
dude,
also
card's
sweet.
so awesome.
Yeah, this card is sick. I absolutely love it.
Someone else take it.
Yeah, this card is disgusting, but here I'll go over it. So, in the front, you got Mishra claimed by the Gix. Whenever you attack, each opponent loses X life, where X is the number of attacking creatures, and you also gain life for that. If Mishra claimed by Gix and a creature named Phyrexian Dragon Engine are attacking, if you own both of them and control them, exile them, and then meld them into the other side. We'll go over the Phyrexian Dragon Engine real quick, which is a 3-mana 2/2 double strike. When it enters the battlefield from your graveyard, you may discard your hand and draw 3. It's got On Earth, which might be an ability that they're going to be putting into the next set. And then Mishra, Lost to the Phyrexian. So this one doesn't turn into a Planeswalker, but it also has an absurd amount of text on it, whereas it's like a Super Titan where it ETBs or attacks, choose 3, and then it has these abilities, which is target opponent discards 2 cards, deals 3 damage to any target, destroy target artifact or Planeswalker, creatures you control gain menace and trample penalties, creatures you don't control get -1/-1, or create 2 tap Power Stone tokens. Holy crap. This thing has a million words on it.
Mm-hmm.
I
Buster.
honestly
I think
the Dragon Engine's good on its own.
It's
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I think
a
that
3-mana
Dragon Ending is
2/2 double
playable.
striker that like,
Yeah.
I mean, basically
That comes back and you refills
Wheel
your
of
hand.
Fortunes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you unearth it late game. Like, I don't even think you need Mishra.
Mm-mm.
Well, it only gives you the Wheel of Fortune when it's entered from the graveyard. You have to unearth it to get that.
Oh, that's true.
Other
Yeah.
than it's just a
It's not
three minute
uncast.
2/2. Yeah.
It's still a 3-mana 2/2 with double strike.
It's a 3-mana 4/4 kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's got double strike.
I mean, this card's sweet. Like I
Or
like.
2.
I think if you ever flip on this one, the ETB of just like you discard 2 cards, I'll destroy your artifact, and then I'll deal 3 to your face, and then it's also 9 damage coming in. It's just massive. It's
I like that.
But
It
and
kills
like in
Urza.
standard, killing a planeswalker is pretty relevant because Liliana's like all over the place.
I thought Liliana got like pushed out of standard for a little bit.
Dude, it's black insert any color is standard right now.
I thought the problem was Meat Hook. I thought it wasn't Liliana.
Well, yeah, Meat Hook is a problem, but like, I mean, if you're melding this, you don't want a
Lily's
Liliana
not
out
good.
there just minusing and killing this.
Yeah, dude. So more spoilers from that set. I think they spoiled something else. They spoiled some other cards in there, but you can look that. There's just too much news this week to even like pay attention or go forward on that. So
Keep going.
yep.
Moving on.
So
Oh,
in the
yeah,
Brothers
yeah.
War, in both set boosters and Universes Beyond, you have 15 different potentials transformers that you can get in there. These are cards that are not legal in Standard, Modern, or Pioneer, but they are legal in Eternal formats. There's 15 different ones. They have, but they're all flipped because the front side is the transformer, the other side is what it transforms out of or into. They have an ability called Living Weapon, but the front side's a creature and the back side's a vehicle. Look them up. There's so many different ones, but these are the 2 styles. I love that they have these 90s looks for the
Oh my god, yes.
those look so clean. And then they have these whatever the hell this glass shattered CGI one is. That is I would rather not get that version.
Yeah, I just want the one with the
Even though that's the
screenshots.
pimp one.
It looks like horrible. Like it just looks bad. I don't know. I like the 90s cartoon just looks classic. I don't know. I would rather
This
have
is
that.
what I want from Universes
They're pulling your
Beyond.
nostalgia is what they're doing.
Yeah.
Universes Beyond should just be screenshots. I don't need new art. Like, these look great.
Oh, they did that with the League of Legends Secret Lair, and those screenshots were
The pictures
actually
were terrible.
yeah, they were
though.
like they all look like lands from afar.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just bad choices.
And there's a huge pool of characters that were even in the show that they could have pulled from, and nothing was relevant. So, yeah, this is probably going to be our future with every set. But the thematic thing here for the Transformers is Optimus Prime and Megatron are brothers, so and they're always warring against one each other. But yeah, you can look these things up. They're pretty fun. They're gonna be cool to see in Commander, and I like the ability of more than meets the eyes for an alternate casting cost is cast the other side, essentially just like a flip card from whatever, and then
Basically an MDFC.
yep, and then you
Yeah,
have
I want you to
convert.
imagine a future where they do a Naruto one and they have like 100
my
characters.
God, yes, dude. We're
That'd be
getting
really
so
sweet.
close.
Yeah, well, I mean,
So close.
Moving on.
yeah,
We're hitting Final Fantasy, man. We're getting nearer and nearer to anime.
I know, can't wait.
There's so many of these damn things.
Oh, I can't wait to see a Red 13 card, man.
Oh yeah. Boom, and then we got these
Oh, my
serialized
God,
cards. This is some hype right here. So, these also come in. These are essentially like the Mystical Archives. They call them retro framed for just the base set that you can see right in the center there, the Wormcoil engine. They have a schematic version, which is on the left there. And then they have these new serialized rainbow foils, like one of a kind, where it's X of 500. So there's only 500 copies of this rainbow foil, which is pretty goddamn insane.
There's going to be 4 that are worth the most.
Number
1
one.
of 500, 500 of 500, 69 of 500, and 420 of 500.
Yep. Those are the
All
hype.
4 of those will be worth infinite amount of money. As long as they don't curl.
Have you guys seen any of the spoils, like the Twitter videos of the unset foiling? It looks really good, and so far I haven't
Oh
seen
my
any
God,
Pringles.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
it looks like old Pokemon foils.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they,
Like-
they look
With
super
like the bubbles and stuff that they would do.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Naruto
Those are
did
kind of
that with their
dope.
foils.
I admit they got me with those, but I still am not spending any money on Magic that I don't have to.
Yeah, but so obviously these are insane because there's only 500 of these things. This is kind of what they did with the Neon Dynasty with that crappy card that no one liked.
But
But
this is the right way.
yeah, this is the best way to do it. It's an
Yes, this is
Yeah.
This is correct. Like this I'm excited for these in
What?
my Brothers War packs. Like, because I'm gonna buy Brothers War obviously because I'm gonna buy a box of a new set. I'm playing with Jim again. Hey.
Woo!
But yeah, this is the correct way to do it.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
Why does Tron always get the good stuff?
Don't
The
act like
bronze
this
stuff,
has to be a
it's
pathetic
the best stuff to
discussion.
have in the game, to be honest. It always is, just as always. But yeah, it's pretty insane.
Are they all going to be artifacts?
I don't know. Yeah, it's everything. Everything's
Okay,
actually.
alright.
They said it's all artifacts because it's an artifact set. So this is where they can print their busts and stuff. They had like Lodestone Golem, Phyrexian. What was the other one?
Oh yeah, Jester's Cap too, right?
Yeah, well, Jester's Cap.
Or no, that was
Yeah, for a different product. Sorry, my bad. But yeah,
Just mixing everything up over here. Come on.
You
How come we
don't,
can't keep
man.
80,000 things straight?
so this is kind of like the Viscera Seer. I think Viscera Seer was one of 100. This is X of 500, but like people are gonna want like I want numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, or like for my deck, and that's people are gonna be hunting down these like super pimped versions.
You're so
And I'd-
correct. You're so
And I'd
correct.
rather have Worm Coil than a Viscera Seer, that's for sure.
You know how bad someone that's got like 100, 200, 300 is gonna how badly they're gonna want 400. They're just gonna be trying to hunt that down the whole time, or whatever it may be, whatever the things you're looking for are.
I just want 69 and
People are
420.
so. How long before Wizards puts they don't tell anyone, they don't announce it, but they put a 1 of 1 something in a pack?
Yeah, dude, I don't know. It's gonna be pretty nuts. Like, that's what they do with sports cards, right? They do 1 of 1s, and
Bro,
that's
we're gonna get Maro's fingernails.
gross. Don't be gnarly like
They
that.
need to do that. They just have to put 1 of 1 on it, and they can make it. That's
Yeah.
it. It could just be a Viscera Seer with a 1 of 1 on it, and people would.
Go
lose their
absolutely, yeah. But yeah, so that's also coming out in the Brothers War. So those are all different things you can get. In this one, you can actually get in draft boosters because you can draft them, and every single one will have it's essentially the Mystical Archives. So if you get
Yeah.
lucky, you'll get these serialized versions. But then we have the Brothers War Commander decks that are coming out, which I think they did right, where it's Mishra versus Urza. I'm not going to read these cards, but you can see that the entire deck's plan or schematics are going to be all old frame, which again gives you old frame Skull Clamp, old frame Baleful Strix, and then I
Do
think
they
we're-
have full lists out?
no, not yet. They just
no, not
previewed
yet.
it. Yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, man, I know they do the Commander decks in Japanese, so if there's some good stuff that I need with the old framing, I can't wait to have to pay $1 million for it.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be like these things these are better than what they've been doing with like the themed packs or whatever they've had in the past. They're just a lot
That
better.
stuff, oh my god.
There's so much going on with all these sets.
We're
but
still doing this Great Night, right? We're gonna have 2 Urza decks and 2 Mishra decks.
sure, I guess
Oh, yeah, I'm down.
we have to do 2 at a giant though.
That'll be fun.
Where
Oh,
one team is
okay.
Mishra, one team
I'm
is
okay with
Urza.
Okay, I'm down.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
That sounds a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'll do some nonsense like that. But again, just these are all coming out with Brothers War, so that's just alone that one set has just so many heavy hitters coming along with it, and then more stuff got spoiled. Game Night Free for All
Oh my
2022. There's really not much to talk about this on these ones, other than this is the second iteration that they've done of the game nights. The whole deck lists are out. These are coming in like December 2nd, I believe. There is a card that might be worth it to people, which is the Nogi Draco Zealot, which is,
Yeah.
it gives Dragon
Didn't
Spells
even
one
look at
less.
it. I couldn't read it, and I was like, it's got to be the red one.
It is the red one, yeah. It makes Dragon Spells cost 1 less, and then it has got some other flavor text on it. But yeah, that's probably the best one. The other ones are like really tame, and that's how they should be. These are built to be like feel like a board game, but not really
The
much
blue
to say about
one-
these.
I feel like the blue one would be fun, like Goad Mono Blue Commander.
Yeah. It's just like you pay 3 mana and then you get the draw card when they attack. It also forces things to attack, but I mean, other than that, this is the only time that you. How many dragon reducers are there that you have?
So many.
Dragon Speaker Shaman. You have this now, and then there's another one, so you can get your dragons down to
There's
just
also
basically
the
double
red black one now.
Yep.
There's the Sorin. There's so many ways to make them cheap now.
Yeah,
I mean, this card gets added because it turns into a dragon. But
Yeah. But it's just a cheap way in your command zone for 3 mana to make your things cost 1 less. But the other ones are kind of just meh at that. All right. Pioneer Challenger decks.
Dude.
Again, they gave us the ruling of you can play
with the red blue on.
Yeah, that you can play because it comes with a banned card like they did back with like the original time they did the Stoneforge Mystic when After got banned. You can play with Expressive Iteration and Pioneer, assuming that this exact 75 is what you're playing. I don't know if you guys got to look at the decks.
It might be
There's
worth
only
it.
2 Phoenixes.
2 Phoenixes and 2 Thing in the Eyes. Just trash numbers. Like
Thing in the Ice isn't too far off. Most decks are only running 2 main and like 1 board, but like 2 Phoenix is just awful. Why not just put 4?
that's the name of the deck. It's 4 Phoenix. So it's like, come on, man. Like all these other like the Orzhov Humans deck has 4 of the Lieutenant 4 Thalias. It's like how come that didn't get 2 Thalias and some crappy 2/2 human? You know.
If you buy 2 the Phoenix boxes, you basically have the deck, and that's definitely way cheaper than buying the deck outright.
Yeah.
Like buying individual. So I mean that's not awful in that sense, but yeah, like picking this up and playing, like although if it did have 4 Phoenix with the banned or expressive iteration in there, it almost would probably be worth playing it that way.
Yeah, you'd be missing like a few key sideboard cards that you'd really want, but you know, whatever.
What lands does it play?
It's got a Steam Vents in there.
1 Steam Vents, yeah.
And then
all of them, I
does
think,
it have
1.
Fast lands?
I
No.
didn't check that one, but I know the Orzhov Human has 4 of the black white fast land. So like that, I didn't check how many lands are there. I just saw there was 2 Phoenix and I checked out. I was like, oh, you can't just buy this deck and it'd be awesome. All right, I'm out of here.
This blue-black deck is pointless. I don't know why they did this.
It's medium at best. I don't know. I didn't really think too deeply on it. All right, Commander starter decks. There's 5 different ones. These are so Commander's gotten really complex for newer players, and it's really difficult for people to kind of interact or play in Commander. And what they've done here is made a simplified version. I don't know exactly how simple they're going to be, but all the commanders seem pretty straightforward. These are all reprinted commanders, and they all have the themes. So I don't think they're going to be putting vanilla creatures in here, but they might do like vanilla adjacent. I don't know. Like this creature's got flying.
It's like French vanillas, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like there's not a lot of text right here.
Too, right?
Say it again.
We're doing these on stream, right?
We can pick these up, yeah.
They're supposed to be like $20
these
or something.
Yeah, I mean they might be super basic, but there's 5 of them, and those are coming out. Those are for people that are getting into the format. Just because even if you started playing Magic and you wanted to buy like a current Commander deck, just trying to learn 99 cards. I mean, I know this basic lands is really confusing as is. So, all right. Then we got the 30th, Secret Lair 30th anniversary booster box. My goodness.
So this comes with proxies and real cards?
No. This is a separate product that you spend $149 for a booster box of Secret Lairs. You'll get 30 packs total. Each pack is labeled with a year, and you'll get a card from that year.
How many boosters do you get?
30 for $150.
That's actually not bad.
No, this isn't a bad product. I thought at first when I read this, I thought it was like a booster box where it was just like, here's all the Secret Lairs we've done. We just threw them in a booster box, draft them. But that after further inspection, it's a little bit different. But what they show here is
so 30 cards, $150.
Yeah, 30 cards, $150. Yeah, which is probably the same rate as like what a Secret Lair is. You pay $30 for 5 cards usually. So it's
Chromox is sick.
Yeah, the Chromox Sacrifice, the Shark Typhoon.
$3 a card it can go to.
The Birthing Pod's got that art. The Elspeth Sun's Champion, which is the Planeswalker, which is like it's Rebecca Guayar, and then the Chibi Nico Bolas. And there's obviously 24 other cards to reveal. So that's on theme with the 30th anniversary.
So it's actually not it. So there's only going to be 30 cards total. It's not like
they've shown
like an actual. Yeah. Booster's the wrong word here.
Well, it's a sense in the booster because when you buy the booster box, only some of them are foil. So like if you open up Elspeth Sun's Champion, well, in the pack that you got, it might be themed 2010 or whenever Theros came out. You might open it, and some of the packs will have a foil one, and some of the packs will not have a foil one. So it's not like a set thing, but it's a booster in the sense that like it's like a flip of a coin that you're gonna get this or that.
Weird.
Yeah.
I don't fully get it, but okay.
it's a secret layer with 30 of them, and then they're randomized
So
whether
here's
you
the
foil.
question: is the Elspeth always going to have this art that's on the
Yeah,
screen?
it's always as far as I
Okay.
know, it's gonna be the same Elspeth
Okay.
in all of them.
That makes more sense.
But it's either gonna be foil or not foil.
Okay.
Okay.
Now I understand.
Boom. And so yeah, you get 30 boosters with stylized wrapper marks for each other year, one for each magic year. Inside you'll find a printed card from that year with a twist. It comes in a style true to the secret layer ethos. So it's saying you'll find a card printed from that year. Okay, I don't know if it means like multiple
so it's
cards.
not guaranteed.
Yeah, it might be. And then it's the anniversary countdown kit. Maybe it's thematic with like the, I don't know.
Damn, there's only 3 days to order this.
Well, it's one, or they didn't do a print to order. There's a finite amount of these,
Oh my god.
so they can sell out.
You mean they will sell out?
Oh yeah, I mean this one is
Yeah.
cool. Like,
They'll sell it immediately.
come on,
This one is cool.
yeah, this
I was
one.
about to say Chromox is sick.
Yeah, the Chromox is disgustingly good. The Necropotence looks amazing. Shark Typhoon's
I love
like
the Shark Typhoon.
all three of these, like all of these except for like Birthing Pod because it's banned, but like all of these are like EDH playable or like format playable except for like maybe Nico Bolas. I mean everything you would play, all three of these cards you would play. So like all 6 of these that's been revealed. So like they did not skimp
These
on
are
giving
all
some crap.
EDH staples.
Yeah.
They're all EDH staples.
So they didn't like skip out on just like us it being just
That
complete
Birthing Pod is
dookie.
sick.
Yeah. So
On it being life lace or
$149
something. I don't know.
$149 for Chrome Mox Plus is pretty good deal if you ask me.
yeah.
Chrome Mox is
If
also-
you get Chrome Mox.
Well, I don't. Well, it's going to be representative of whatever year it is. So yeah, you it's supposed to be a set of. It's only 30 cards. They said.
Oh, okay. So what it means?
What if
by,
year
like,
one? What if year one is Black Lotus?
I don't want to talk. I don't want to be trashing that. Yeah, dude. All right. Dominaria remastered
Oh,
spoilers. So they spoiled some more cards from that set. This doesn't come out until next year, November. But they revealed Time Stretch, and it's got the modern looking art, the extended art, or like whatever kind of art style that is. Then also the classic art with no stamp, which I think people absolutely love. This is a theme that we're gonna probably see to the end of time, just because for the nostalgia purposes. But this is one of the cards they revealed. Also Birds of Paradise as well too, which is fun to look at because we can buy. I don't want to.
Dominaria remastered.
Come on, say it.
No, Dominaria Remastered is just like what they did with Time's Power Remastered, but Dominaria covers the entire plane of like from like Alpha through whenever they through like up till Mirrodin, because things weren't referred. Dominaria includes like Plane Shift, Apocalypse, like all these like Odyssey block. Those are all on the plane of Dominaria. Whereas after that, like, you know, think of pre-modern. Once they left pre-modern, everything was a plane, such as Mirrodin, Champions of Kamigawa. Those were all yeah. So there's a huge swath of things they can pull from, which is going to make this like a killer.
Isn't Alpha the one that comes with Black Lotus?
What?
That's the set that has Black Lotus, right?
Yeah. Of other spoilers, which they showed Counterspell, Jester's Cap, and like Sneak Attack. So obviously this is again just showing the Jester's Cap's awesome, except it's just a card that sucks, unfortunately. But
What are you talking about? I get to look at your deck
yeah, I know it's in exile 3
for
cards.
6 mana.
Yep, or you can like use Goblin Welder and just keep repeating it every turn. Just keep bringing it back.
Oh, that sounds great.
It
Thanks
is.
for
I
the
don't
idea. I'm gonna
understand
put
what
that into
Counterspell-
pre-modern.
Yeah, just keep.
Can we talk about how this this counter spell that they revealed is miscut?
Oh, that's just me. Yeah.
Why is it a rare?
It's a good question. I don't know. They didn't show anything that wasn't
counters.
rare. I think probably everything that has the old border will get the rare treatment because like they didn't show Sneak Attack with a certain border. I don't know. It's a weird one. But yeah, that's Dominator Remastered. These things are sweet. This is earlier in the year we had a podcast where they showed us the Forest World. That's also coming in this set too. So this set's gonna obviously slap. All right. Again, more things spoiled, but for the 2023 Regional Championship promos, we have Mystical Dispute, Thing in the Ice, and Snapcaster Mage. That Snapcaster Mage makes me think of Raiden.
Yep. Dude, this thing in the ice is sick.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't put the flip side of it, but
I like
yeah.
how the chase card is the Mystical Dispute. Like that's the hard one to get. Is the Mystical Dispute?
What's the one everybody gets? So
I
if
thought
you
Mystical
I thought
Dispute was the
the
one
other
you
way
get for
around.
signing up.
Yeah, that's the one that you sign up for. That's like the lava spike. That's the
Yeah,
one that
Picking
everybody
the
gets.
Ice is top 8 and Snapcaster is for first.
Yep. So, Mystical Dispute is high.
Dispute
Yeah.
That'd be dope. I want that.
Yeah. Is there
I like
another
that
art
art
for Mystical
too.
Dispute? Does that have a cool one yet? I thought it did.
Didn't we get a
No.
secret layer before with it?
I think we did. I remember it. We were like, "This is There, it might be somewhere. I don't know. There's so much product. It's like a million. Yeah.
Not
think-
to mention, Dispute is one of my favorite cards. You get to like wreck some people with that one.
I have a love-hate relationship with that card. I think that card has made Cascade decks like stupid, and that's where my problem is. Like, I hate when like Cascade decks get to like cheat on stuff like this.
Dispute you.
Well, yeah. Well, they just and then there's like no cost to it. They've already got adventure cards. They got Mystical Dispute. Like,
Hardware.
yeah, they have all those. Like, and then now they have channel cards too. It's like they just have all of it. Like, which the whole point of playing like Living End was like supposed to be this like hyper, or any Cascade deck is like you're hyper focused, but you get these punishment hands where it's like, oh, you have to play like 5 mana spells or 4 mana spells that are like really bad. But yeah. All right. And then they revealed all of the timestamp promos up until 2021. So they have the 2021 revealed. They did not show the 2022 yet. So I don't think they have decided. But again, amazing cards throughout the entire thing. Like, there's a few things I thought that weren't great, but the Dovin's Vita looks amazing. The Tarmogoyf with the Future Sight frame with the new art. And I think that's Chinese. I can't tell the language.
No,
Yes.
that's Japanese. That's Japanese.
No. Japanese has the text on top too.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's 100% Japanese.
Jeff,
No.
JB, tell us. I think it
Is there-
could
I'm
be
pretty
Chinese
sure
or
it is.
Korean. I don't know.
That's 100%.
No
It's not
way.
Korean. There's not mustard.
So,
I'm confident. Chinese is more blocky.
Yeah.
well, there's
you
two.
might be
There's
right.
traditional, and then there's the other.
Well, yeah, this looks like
I am
it's a
telling
lot
you,
of
I am not
hiragana.
wrong
Yeah, this
here.
is Japanese.
Okay, fair
Yeah,
enough.
you're right.
Man, how come the new? How come the
See
new
with the one
Japanese?
that looks like a cursive N? That's like hiragana.
Languages are my shit.
Yeah, and then
Anyway, I like how you ignored the best card on here, which is the Old Border Hornet Queen, which is my favorite card out of all
that
of these.
card slays,
That's
dude.
Spanish.
Volley, I think that means.
Um,
I don't really know. Verde.
I think
Could be Portuguese or
I think
Spanish.
yeah, Portuguese is what I think it is.
Yeah, and then you have the Vindicate.
Could be
That's
French.
the Sick Vindicate and Old Art. I mean, these are going to be so how these work. Every set will release X amount of them, whether it be 3 or 4. Some of them come with brand new unique art, as you can see with like Dovin's Veto, and then some of them have like reprinted art, as you can see with these other 3 cards. These will get released all the way through 2023. So, every set, like the Brothers War is going to get it, the Marches 1's going to get like another subset that come out with them, and then the Middle Earth set, the Modern Horizons 3, essentially with Lord of the Rings, all that stuff's getting pumped in too. So, yeah, there's a lot of that going on. But again, these kind of things are just fun because they're just free. Like it doesn't take away from anything. Oh
I
my
need
god!
that Hornet Queen.
Yes.
All right,
There
This
you go.
conversation.
all right,
Let's do it.
all right. Well,
What is
let's
the worst thing you put $1,000 on, listeners?
yeah. So,
All right, so they're doing this thing where, okay, we're good. We're good. We already talked about it enough.
Yeah.
That's it. $1,000 spent. We're good.
boom. All right. So they have this. I think it's essentially just alpha reprint or alpha. Or actually it would be beta because it has Volcanic Island since alpha didn't have Volcanic Island. But it's an entire set of a collector's edition. The front ends, as you can see with the Black Lotuses, either come in the updated border or they have the classic border on there. They all say 30th edition on it. And then, as you can see on the picture on the left, it's got Magic the Gathering, the gold border on the back, 30th anniversary edition. So these are some of the cards that come along with it. This is the packaging for it. And then, if you're wondering what these are, there's 30th anniversary editions that will be on sale for the holidays, only on November 28th for $999. Sorry, I thought I may have read that wrong.
US.
Yep, and then 30th edition.wizards.com. It's going back to the roots of all of Magic, so that's great, I guess. Each pack, this is where everybody's losing their mind, contains 15 cards, 13 modern frame ones, 1 rare one. So 3 uncommons, 7 commons, 2 basic lands, plus 1 basic land in retro frame, an additional retro frame card, and a token. These 30th anniversary editions are non-tournament legal products celebrating the 30 years of Magic, and it's inspired by the limited edition beta. All right.
All right.
So
you left out the limited edition print run.
yeah,
It is limited.
Yeah, it's
And these will sell out immediately.
Yeah. So on that date, everybody's gonna be hitting refresh. There's a huge. We're gonna bring somebody in a guest a little bit later who's actually a store owner, and he'll I want to get his thoughts on it. This is one of the individuals I know that has 300, 400 plus dual lands and revised, you name it. So I want to get his take on these, but from a consumer standpoint, I can't play these in tournaments. Okay. In what casual table out there is going to say I'll allow these but not proxies?
None.
Like, okay, so
I don't think casual tables really care.
Well, I guess what I'm getting at is,
and if you do care, then it's not a casual table because you're not being casual about it.
yeah.
And
So
not to mention the only commander cards that they're going to care about are the dual lands, and I guess Time Twister. But
that's what's more messed up about this is that even the cards that aren't on the reserve list actually have the 30th anniversary back when they could have just had a normal Magic card back on the Shivan Dragons or whatever.
Like, how mad are you going to be if you pay $1,000 and open like a Birds of Paradise?
there's actually a simulator out there that you can open and just
Feeling
I've
style.
seen that.
Yeah.
I hit on the fake simulator or whatever. one and done, and I won. I was like, yeah, I'm over with, boys.
So there's a ton of like discussion that goes like with this because the community is really there's a big backlash in the sense of this product is $1,000 and I can't do anything with this project. It's a randomized booster and I get 4 rares up to 8 rares if I'm completely hitting the jackpot. And I can get cards like what is it? You can get
Fungusaur.
Yeah, you can get cards like Volcanic Island, Mox Sapphire, or Mox Jet, or you could end up with Pure Lace and Thought Lace. Like, what the hell, man? This
Thought Lace is amazing.
Yeah. So, I mean, the question is, I would have to you guys, do you think sanction play, I mean, it's already kind of gone away, but would you ever assume that like RCQs completely just go away too? Because then that makes these things more valuable.
Like a regional championship qualifier? What does that have to do with these?
Well, I'm saying like
He's saying if they go
eliminate all sanction play. Does these become more valuable?
Because people just say, yeah, whatever, play him.
Yeah.
But like,
What
again,
you're getting is because
then
people want these for their EDH decks because nothing is sanctioned or whatever. People are only going to play EDH anyway. I don't think there's any kind of correlation between how canceling organized play would increase these value. I don't think that would.
Again, just because like I feel like
any meat in that argument.
There's nothing as that chase worthy for Commander in here besides lands.
Well, it's like okay, then
You're forgetting the most expensive card in the set, which will be Time Twister. That card will be the same price as whatever a Time Twister is right now.
Well, then what if tomorrow they're like, okay, we're unbanning the Power 9
for Commander?
Yeah, why not?
If they did, then yes, I think these would get. That's why it's a hypothetical question.
I've also said this.
They won't. But...
No. I've also said in the past, Josh, they will never reprint a Black Lotus because of remember Garth, how they were like, we're not printing a Black Lotus token because that would be, not good to the reserve list. We printed a Black Lotus. I thought this would never. I never thought this day would come.
I don't think they'll change any rules. I think if anything, you're going to get actual Black Lotuses reprinted in the next by the time the 35th anniversary rolls around. There'll be actual new Black Lotuses you'll be able to open. Yeah, you have to remember like the overall thing you have to remember now is that Wizards isn't ran by Wizards anymore. It's ran by Hasbro.
Right.
Hasbro's going to suck every last living dime out of us.
Monopoly's just not selling, man.
It's doing terrible. Monopoly sucks.
It's joke.
Yeah.
Feel like we have nothing new to add to this, just because people have talked it to death already. Although some people don't know this.
I've talked a lot of crap about it, but I do think I might try and buy one just to flip it.
Oh no,
'Cause I do
you're
that
part of the
anyway.
problem.
Yeah, you
Yes, I know I am. I'm a part of the problem.
I mean,
I've been
if
doing
you're
it
not
for
gonna do it,
years,
someone else
dude.
will is the problem. Like that's really
Exactly.
so. I mean, this is where it's at, right?
Dude,
So,
I'm going
this product is the ultimate fear of missing out, like product of all time.
100%.
Because if
So-
you miss the boat, you won't get these won't be 1,000. They will be more than that.
There's two things to note that people may not know.
Mhm.
One, there is some art that is from the original sets that may or may not be copyrighted properly by Wizards,
No,
and the families may be going into a legal battle over it in the future for cards that are being reprinted
the
in this.
product's still coming. The product is still coming.
It's
Oh, I know.
yeah.
And on the website, when they first launched, they had a placeholder URL for the, how to figure out how much it would cost to ship to other locations.
Yeah.
And someone noticed that it wasn't registered, so they registered that domain and put up a scathing review of this product. So when you clicked the link to see how much it would cost you to ship to like wherever you are, it was just a link to a site that was like, this product is terrible, people shouldn't buy this, and this is just miserable and like spitting in the face of players for your 30th anniversary for all players.
Yeah.
Which I think is hilarious.
Would you buy this for 500?
Nope.
I'm
How much
going
would
to
it
buy
have
it
to
for
be?
1,000, and I'm going to sell it for 2,000
If
immediately. Like immediately.
Like,
as soon
if
as I
none
get
of the
it, I will-
rules changed, JB, like, and it was the way it is now, how much would this have to be to make you to want to buy it?
$100.
$100 is the when we JB and I did the inflation adjustment, but compared to the collector's edition, $100 is what they should be charging for the full
my
set, not booster.
And my thing is, I don't mind paying for premium boosters. I've bought,
VIP.
I bought the VIP. I've bought the, the whatever they are that they have nowadays. I don't know, for every set they have them,
Collector
the fancy
boosters.
ones. Yeah, collector boosters. I've bought those before. I don't mind paying $25 for a pack. Even for proxies. If I could have a chance at a Black Lotus, I'd be like, yeah, I'll pay $25. But $250? Never.
They should have charged $250 for the whole set, and I would have bought it.
Yep,
Like,
I would have bought 4 of them.
Well, everybody and their
There
mother buys
would've
it
been
then.
$250 for the whole set. There would be zero complaint.
But here's the
Zero.
thing, Tony.
Absolutely zero.
What is wrong with making more of them?
Good point.
There's nothing wrong. And the fact
Zero,
that they did
no,
one-
zero things wrong.
You could do second edition of this where it's a brown, I don't know, something, not black border, whatever you want to call it. You do it's a brown, silver border, bronze border, you name it.
White border.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like revised, they could do a 30th. They could do a 30th
Oh my god, no,
anniversary
white
edition
border.
revised,
No.
revised 30th.
That might be coming.
So gross. No Power 9.
No, Power 9 had white.
They
It
did
was in
unlimited.
Yeah, it
unlimited.
wasn't in revised.
Unlimited.
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
You're
they
correct.
could do an unlimited. They could do an unlimited edition.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. This is the beta, and then the next following substantial thing. I mean, they could do it for the 31st anniversary because this is we're officially in 2023 will be officially 30 years out from 1993 from the actual release of Magic, from alpha to beta and so forth. So this is where it's all at.
How much do you think the UC is going to be worth?
What do you mean?
Exactly what a price of a collector's edition Underground Sea is worth right now.
I don't know how much that is.
Probably in the upper hundreds, like 200, 300
I'd say
bucks.
Like
So I
$400.
feel like that, I agree Time Twister will be the most expensive, but I think the dual lands will be highly sought after just for EDH.
Yeah. So
I
Like,
mean,
I will 100% let someone play these.
you can also use a Sharpie and mark out the
Oh,
from the last
100%.
set, the last Dominaria United. You can mark it out and just say this is like.
I can't see
So-
that you're glitching.
Yeah, that's fine. He's glitching.
It's
It's not
the same price as the normal. It's the same price as the normal.
Well, it's because
Underground
it's the
Sea.
scare. It's,
700
it's the scarcity of it. There's not that many out there, but I'm
I
gonna
don't think there'll be
I'm
that
gonna bring in our-
many out there either.
I'm gonna bring in our guest, and then
Okay.
I'd like to get his thought process on it all. But it just right now as a whole, it just feels like really, really weird. Oh, I guess where'd he go? Is he in there? You got to go to the live show if you're gonna get in there. Let me check my phone. But yeah, I have a few questions that I want to market with. Yeah, see him. He's gone.
All I can say is, I don't mind proxies. I wouldn't mind paying more for these, but I sure don't want to pay that much.
I'm malicious, and if Wizards thinks they're getting my money, they're
Well, they are getting your money.
Right.
You're just flipping.
Yeah, you
it.
literally just said you would give them your money.
So I mean, if you this is
I'm profiting.
well,
Well, that doesn't
but
sure.
matter.
you got
You're
the
still
profit
giving
they
them
want.
the
you're
money.
doing exactly why everybody's pissed about this. Is like don't like. So for the, I know, but it should be for like honestly the people who want like this for their cube or whatever. This is the place where you should get that stuff. Not
Yeah, these are the perfect
Suddenly
proxies for a power cube.
Suddenly, everyone wants to have a cube.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why not? What else are you gonna do with this? Where the hell are you gonna go play Vintage? That isn't
As a cube
MTGO.
owner, I will tell you, you never use it. Good
when
luck
you
getting
do.
8 people to do anything. Get 4 people to do something. It's
We do it
impossible.
every week.
Yeah. So
We're lucky. You
it's
should be very thankful.
I guess he's on his phone. He's figuring it out. I had to help him install Discord yesterday.
That's funny.
Yeah, he's an old man. He's not that old, but yeah,
Say what a chump.
yeah, he's
Who I think it is.
yeah, it is. He's coming on. I have to give him a call and be like, hey, this is how you do stuff.
The bunny himself.
Anyway,
I can edit this all out, but this is
Yeah.
part of the live stream.
I don't like this product, but I definitely see.
But you're
an
gonna buy
opportunity.
it, and that's exactly what Wizards wants you to do.
I mean, it's not that I'm going to buy it because I probably won't. I don't really actually have like $1,000 laying around that I could spend on Magic cards,
When does this
especially
come out?
since I've
Well,
been
you
on
have to.
vacation
So
club
you're gonna have to
for the
spend
last 8
like
years.
time, right? And in the sense of like you have to be online at that time, and this is gonna feel like the Mythic Championship stuff, right? Or the Mythic
Oh, the
Edition
Mythic
boxes.
Edition boosters.
Yeah. So if you're not there, right there and there.
It's gonna sell out immediately. Immediately, it'll be the fast. It's gonna be the fastest selling Magic product ever released.
Let me see if I can walk him through it. Stand by. But yeah,
Damn,
guys,
baby.
while we're doing this, go ahead and talk about this.
Move forward.
Yes.
What are these?
Oh my God,
Post
Post
Malone.
Post
Did
Malone.
they
Hang on,
didn't even
I-
say what's gonna be in it yet?
Dude, that's why I
There's
think
gonna
they
be a
rushed
sequel
it.
There
I
it
think they
is.
rushed out the announcement because people were so mad. They were like, all right, well, here's 3 new things that people might like.
I like both Malone, and for what it's worth, like
Yeah.
you could have had a completely different music career because I've seen videos of him playing and singing guitar, and he's actually really good, and he's like self-admitted that he just does what people likes. And
Yeah.
even though like I'm not one for his music or whatever, even though I'll listen to it. I listen to everything. I listen to
Yeah.
dubstep, which is like admittedly worse than Post Malone, but
Oh, bad.
Our guest is in here, guys.
uh,
We'll go back to this, but I just don't know if he can figure it out. Is your mic
Oh, what?
on? Hey.
Yeah, there he is.
it's
can hear me.
still,
Awesome.
Like,
All right. So this is
Ooh,
Damien. He's the owner of Pink Bunny Games, one of the one of the stores here in the South Milwaukee area or in the Milwaukee area. And I wanted to bring him on because they wanted some perspective of what a store owner thinks about this product, especially because it's not coming from distributors. He's got to buy it just like the rest of us. So, Damien, we talked a little bit about it. We've kind of gone over all the details. You know about this 30th anniversary. From the get-to-go, what was your initial gut reaction on this?
Well, the very initial gut reaction is, can I swear on this?
I'll edit it
Yeah,
out, but
go
yeah,
ahead.
you can go for it. This is rated
Well,
8.
you got it out. I'll try not to.
No, you're good. You're good.
So, my initial reaction was like, "Holy shit! They're reprinting Power,"
Yeah.
which is a really cool thing if you don't have that stuff.
Yes.
But then that can be a very nervous feeling to have when you do have that stuff.
Right.
So like I've got piles of this stuff. So like that's arguably a bad thing for me.
Yes.
And then especially because like gut reaction is not having read through all the details, not seeing how everything is getting distributed and all that stuff. I thought this was just you can buy a set. You pay your $1,000. I think you sent me the link originally. It said $9.99,
Yeah.
and I was like, $1,000 for a full rack of power and duels and all this stuff. Wow, that's pretty cheap.
Yeah. It's a good
And
rate.
then, but now seeing that it's $1,000 for what amounts to 5.2 rares, you get one rare in each pack. Plus, there's a retro frame slot in each pack.
Yeah.
And a 30% chance that retro frame slot has another rare in it.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's $1,000 for 5.2 rares. So it's $200 a rare, which basically makes this like just as expensive as buying old sets. Like,
Yep.
The math has been done now. If you were to buy enough packs of this, assuming you have no duplication, you just get a perfect mix.
Yeah.
To get a full set of the retro frame, and that would also give you 3.3 sets of the new frame. Your cost into all of it would be about $16,000 per complete set of the new frame cards, and $48,000 for a complete set of the retro frame.
Yeah.
So, seeing that it's going to be like pretty expensive makes me not so worried that this is going to have a big impact on the power of the value of power and duels. They are doing double print on the duels, so you get twice as many dual lands and everything else.
Yep.
And like, it's a weird product because I don't think anyone is the actual target audience. Because like, if you've got the money that you can spend $1,000 on these 4 packs, or more realistically, you have to spend like $10,000. You have to buy a bunch of these for it to average out to possibly being worth it. Because you buy that one and you get like a veteran bodyguard, a
pure
mana
lace,
barbs, a chaos lace,
yeah,
and a Lord of the Pit. You're like, sweet. Well, so I only got to recoup like $950 now, right?
Probably $999. It's way worse.
Well, because of the cost of the packs,
Yeah.
even bulk stuff is going to have a non-zero value. So it's not complete trash, even though it is complete trash.
Yeah. So,
are you telling me I'll be able to get? Can I get a word of command for less than $250?
I can't actually say that because the packs cost $250, and that's one of the better things you can get.
Fair.
So like, and that's always what the math is. Whenever any new Magic set comes out, whenever any Magic product comes out, it's okay. How much does it cost me at the bare minimum? Like, if I'm buying in large quantities from a distributor that I've got a good relationship with, I'm getting the best price I possibly can, that's still a price. That means that the stuff in the set ultimately has to be worth that much because it costs that much to get it out of the packs in the first place.
Yeah.
That's why, like, some semi-recent, this is going to show that I'm just an old man, Dragon's Maze.
Yep.
Had, like, 3 playable cards in it.
Voice Resurgence.
So, like, Voice Resurgence was, like, $75 in that set.
Yeah.
Because the value had to land somewhere.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was, like Ral's Eric. And then I believe the third most expensive card in that set was the Voice of Resurgence token. Because the set was so bad. But like that token, something had to be worth something. So boom, this token's $20 now.
Right. Just
and then the proof is in the pudding because once they reprinted it in like I think it was Modern Masters, it's like a $3 card now.
Well, it's maybe a bulk card if that. Like they've printed it,
right.
They've downshifted it to rare even. And it's like wow, what a hit.
Yeah. But yeah, so like originally it was kind of scary, like, oh man, this could really bottom out the prices on this stuff. Now I'm actually kind of the opposite. I'm thinking, okay, there's going to be people who panic sell. Who are like, oh my God, I got to get rid of my collector's edition and international edition are the 2 biggest ones because those are the closest thing to the same property.
Yep.
So like a lot of commander players who don't want to just have proxies, but don't necessarily want to fork out $10,000 to cast a Time Twister. They've gone out and they've bought themselves a $1,500 or $2,000 collector's edition Time Twister.
It's the same with like Gaia's Cradle. Like Gaia's Cradle is $1,000 versus you can get a $250 collector's edition.
Yeah, the World Championship, that one.
Yep.
So this is going to be kind of similar to that. There's going to be people that are like first, a lot of casual groups don't care at all. They're
Right.
either, we don't want you playing a card if its value is that high because then the deck's too powerful,
Mhm.
or they're, well, who cares if you play a proxy? I'm just here to have fun and play this game.
Right.
That's kind of where I am.
Yep.
Like, that might sound kind of contradictory because I'm a store and I literally make my living selling players these cards, and I own all of these real cards.
Yeah.
But like, I'd rather have people play in an event and be able to compete than have them say, "Oh, I can't afford to spend 25 grand to get a Mishra's Workshop and a Time Twister and a Guy's Cradle and a Tabernacle for my deck."
Yeah.
So I'm just not going to play this. I'm going to go play Uno instead because that costs $6.
Yeah. Like I was going to mention.
And there's a line.
Yeah.
There's a line as to where that, like, if you're playing in like a competitive event with high stakes, yeah, it's pretty reasonable to say, no, you've got to own all this stuff.
Yeah.
But like we run the weekly tournaments at my store in the competitive event. I don't care if people use proxies because I want them to come in and play the game and have fun.
Correct.
And ultimately, people win prize money, and then that usually just goes into unproxying stuff anyways.
Mhm.
So like, I'm not really losing out because I'm not trying to sell a bunch of Tabernacles. I'm trying to sell a bunch of Sacklands.
Yes. And that's one of the best things. Your store alone has changed like my opinion on how I view proxies in the sense of,
I want to play.
Yes, I'm here to play the game, and I'm not here to gatekeep people at a local
wanna
level.
Beat you because I have more money than you. I want to beat you because I built a better deck. I want to lose to you because of the same thing.
Yeah, of course. I mean, does your proxy argument just change a little bit for things like standard? Like, would you allow people to proxy up standard decks to play in your store?
Well, so there it starts to tread a different line because standard is so affordable anyways. And
Yeah.
I say that understanding that it's not cheap to play standard. It's way cheaper to like I said, play Uno.
Mhm.
But like, and I don't know what a great standard deck costs right now, but I'm going to say it's got to be less than $1,000, probably sub $500
Yeah.
to build most standard decks. So like, at some point we do have to recognize that this is a luxury item. This is a luxury game.
Yeah.
But like, when somebody has to make the choice between do I have a car or do I have this card for my deck, I understand. But when it's the difference between do I get this card for my deck or an ice cream cone on my own, yeah, I'm going to make you buy that.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of falls with all collectibles as a whole. Like, if we look at something like Warhammer 40K, like, people don't really proxy that, I don't think, but they are. I mean, you're a store. Your job as a game store is to sell game pieces, and people get frustrated because it's cardboard versus whatever it may be. But it's like things have value because the market chooses that value. It's not dictated by anybody other than as a collective of us. Yeah. So with you, this doesn't have any distribution on it, so you don't get any kind of deal to sell it at 1,000. So the realistic price.
Well, we get one. I'm a WPN store, so I'm going to get one free box of 4-packs.
Yep.
And I think that was Wizards making a very smart decision of, okay, we're charging an absurd amount of money for this thing, and we're not letting stores have a piece of it. So to make them happy, let's ship them each a thing. And your average store owner is looking at this like, oh man, that's so awesome. They're giving me a free $1,000. It's like, no, they're giving you a free $8. But this is still ultimately 4 booster packs that the R&D money was spent 25 years ago, 30 years ago on these cards.
Yeah.
And there aren't even foils in the packs.
No, there's nothing special about them that changes them.
There's no hard part to this at all. This costs them $8 to make that thing. We'll say 10. They're probably going to put it in like a pretty box, and then they got to ship it to us. And that's assuming that I don't have to pay to ship the $999 box.
Right. Well, you do. They don't think they covered shipping on it. They're kind of trashy in that way. But so you get a free one, which is great. But the reality is, I don't think any store that is looking to invest in these are selling the individual boosters at $250. They're not looking to break even.
Oh, there's no reason to do that. Like,
right.
First, a lot of people don't understand the math of being a store.
Yes.
Hey, I'm a business. I have to make money. I have to make a profit because everything we do costs money. If you come to my store and you sit down on a chair at a table, that's wear and tear on my table and my chair, and you had to come into my heated store where I pay rent.
Yes.
If you use my bathroom, I have to pay for the toilet paper you use to clean your butt crack. All those things cost money. I have to pay my employees to sort and organize everything. They all do a great job, and I'm more than happy to pay them, but I got to make money.
Yes.
And breaking even isn't breaking even either. It's a loss because if I buy that thing for $1,000 and then I sell it for $1,000, there's about a 77% chance you paid with a credit card, and I eat about 2 to 4% on that transaction
Yep.
just for that part right there.
Yep.
And then
Mhm.
1 out of 1,000 of those credit card transactions, the person files a charge back because they realized they needed to pay their rent or they didn't have gas in their car. Whatever.
Sure.
And then I have to eat that too. So that doubles that percentage that I eat for taking credit cards.
Right.
So
So-
breaking even isn't even breaking even.
So yeah, I mean, right now the illusion is that this product is going to cost, you know, us as a whole, as a community, and then also is $1,000. If you miss the boat of the November 28th not being there to buy it, this product in my head from the get go, I think a pack is going to cost $400. Like, it just seems like the right price. I don't think it's going to be $300. $50 doesn't seem like the markup you want to make. Plus the scarcity of these things and how many investors are going to go, I'm buying 10 of these and I'm going to store them. You know.
I think your number is a little low there when you say 10.
Well,
That's
hundreds.
where this gets to be. There's definitely going to be people that say, okay, $1,000, I'm going to buy 250 of these.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sit on them. And hopefully in 5 years, they're worth $1,000 a pack instead of a box.
Right.
But that's kind of back to my original statement of who is this product for? I don't know how many of these are going to get printed because, like, your average player, like I was saying, there were 2 different crowds of people. There's people who have to be scared of this product because they're like, well, I've got power and I've got duels. You know, I've got like 400 dual lands.
Yeah.
So these things making dual lands super cheap is kind of a scary thing.
Yes.
But these things basically already cost more than dual lands. You know,
which is the
if you got
craziest thing to
$1,000
me.
to buy 4 of these packs, you can go out and you can buy 3 dual lands instead of. My rough math says that in a box with 4 packs, because you have 5.2, so roughly 5 rares in that 4 packs.
Yeah.
And then there's 10 dual lands and 117 rares, minus the 4 that they chopped out because they're anti-cards and Crusade because they just don't like that card.
Yep.
And then added on 10 more rares, so 123 rares. It's like an 18% chance that any rare you see is a dual land.
Yeah.
So like you're looking at a pretty close to 1 dual land per box, like 5 dual lands out of every 6 boxes.
Yeah. So it's
And at that rate, like, you're better off just buying revised dual lands.
Dual land. Just buy the dual land you wanted. Yeah.
well, that might also
Yeah, that-
get a rush
With
of
all this stuff, like
Yeah.
there is the cool factor of like, oh man, I opened a pack and I got a dual land. I opened a pack and I got a Black Lotus or a Mox Sapphire or a Time Twister or a Time Lord.
Yeah.
The Wizards like, yeah, we wanted to make sure that people had a chance to do that because a lot of people who played them, this is true. A lot of people who played today never had that chance to do that. I never had that chance to do that. I started playing in 1995.
Yeah, the 93
But-
the people are dead. There's a lot of people that died that had that experience.
Yeah, yes, there's definitely a real amount of people that are no longer with us. That the people that got to open those packs.
Yeah.
But flip that around though, because these aren't real cards. It's not quite the same.
Yeah.
And you've been able to open that stuff a whole bunch of different times on Magic the Gathering Online. So this isn't like a truly unique thing. It's not like this is your first chance in 30 years to open up pack.
Sure.
I'm doing air quotes that you can't see.
Yeah, okay.
And then get a Black Lotus or a Dual Land or a Mox or a Word of Command.
Yeah.
Because you could do them in Magic Online.
Yeah. So
So like the players who were like clamoring for let's abolish the reserve list, let's just reprint all this stuff. It's like, okay, well let's call this you got your wish. What are you gonna do now? It's still just as expensive. You didn't win.
yeah, and it would be a price
this
point.
is
Yeah.
worse than just buying the things.
Unless you're looking to
flip
get
side is- Well, right. Well, if you're looking to gamble, what are you gonna buy? 1, 2? If you have the money,
right.
like if you can afford to buy 10 of these or 20 of these, you aren't whining about I can't afford to buy a plateau for my deck.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. There's the people who don't have the money, and that's fine. Like I totally understand not spending that much money on this on a hobby. If you're not all in for that hobby, if you're just doing this for fun, if this is your Uno, $10,000 to make your commander deck good might be too much to spend.
Yeah. So
But if it's not, then $1,000 for this pack is not the best place in Magic stuff to put your $1,000.
right.
Yep.
So like you're one of the store owners that like you don't care about the proxies, but there's a lot of other store owners out there that are probably going to buy a few of these. and they have to make this decision now of I can sell this product to my patrons and then tell them this product that I'm selling you cannot play in my store. Like, does this all of a sudden just kind of have like a sweeping swath of all these stores just being like, these are allowed?
I haven't seen it all because there's been like a million different things swirling around the internet this past week.
Yes.
Especially in the Magic universe.
Yeah.
So it sounds like maybe Mark Rosewater had put out some sort of a non-statement statement.
Yeah, like
implying that they were going to less harshly go after the use of proxies.
It was
so before, like, I'm not allowed to run a sanctioned Magic event and let you use proxy. And first, I know there's going to be people in your comments and people online who like to use the word proxy has a specific meaning in Magic's rules.
Right. This is a wizard product.
Yeah. Proxy is you show up to an event. You're playing in a Legacy Grand Prix, and your opponent spills his bottle of Mountain Dew and ruins your tabernacle. And you don't have $5,000 on you. Just go buy a new one to replace it. And obviously, the guy who spilled the soda on your card doesn't have 2 wooden nickels to rub together.
Yeah.
So you go tell a judge, "Hey, I can't play this now, but it's in my deck. What do I do?" That judge can basically take a basic land or a blank card or something like that and write Tabernacle on there and let you use that in your deck. That is officially what the term proxy means.
Yep.
When you hear people say the word proxy and use proxies in events and use proxies at stores, what they mean is use fake cards.
Right.
And that's what we're actually talking about. Right? It's fake cards.
Yep.
So yes, I'm one of the weird store owners who has tons of money sunk into the real thing, and I make my living buying and selling these cards, and I kind of don't care if people use them to play, because ultimately, like, oh man.
You let people play, and then that itch gets scratched, and they come and they spend money in your singles case.
You have a weekly.
It happens every Saturday.
You have a weekly.
Come on Saturdays.
Every Saturday at 4 p.m. you run a EDH
a competitive Commander League event. Yes.
Yep. And there's it's whatever the rules are in Commander. You can come with any level of deck. It doesn't need to be a certain threshold, and then you base on pods, and then each of those pods then goes to another pod, and then that pod, either the winner of that pod gets all the spoils, whatever you want to call it. So if 20 people show up, $200 is injected in store credit into your pool, and then at the end of it, there's one guy that either takes all the store credit or the final table usually chops, from what I understand.
I'd say probably 50-50 if they chop. I'm a little bit distracted right now. I am driving, in case you guys were like huge accident or something, because I'm being diverted all kinds of not where I'm going.
Okay. So
I'm a little bit delayed in my responses right now. It's because I'm lost.
Yeah, so like again, it's as a store, when you get these, I think some stores are going to go, okay, let me do this as a faith of goodwill to my patrons. I'm going to use this as people enter in this event, and I hand these out as prizes, which is the ones that get the free, whatever, WPM 3 free ones. And then if they buy any additional ones, obviously you're going to have to hand those out at a significant cost above $250 a pack, or the more than $1,000, just because you need to eat too. So just from the get-go, if you miss this initial launch, these things are going to be right out the gate. They'll probably be on eBay for a minimum of $1,800 for a box, maybe $2,000, maybe double price right there and then. And then everybody and their mother's like, well go on.
Yes and no. So there's in the retailer side of the game store hobby, there's what we call the race to the bottom. There's going to be a whole bunch of people that think, man, this product's going to be great. I got to buy it because I want to have everything.
Yeah.
And then the day they get it in their hand, they're like, man, I'm stupid. I need to pay my rent and stuff. Okay, how much can I sell this for online and get the money back in my hand right this second?
Yeah.
And not lose money, or maybe even lose some money.
Yeah.
There are a large amount of people, store owners included, who don't understand that you have to make money in order to stay in business.
Yes. I mean, in the last 11 years as I've played Magic, I've seen stores come up and down, left and right, and there are a few that have remained through, but they've always had the idea of money first. I don't care about anything else other than that. Not to say that the other stuff's not important, but if you don't make money, you can't succeed.
Right. You have to make money to stay in business, but if you have a short-term mentality, you'll have a short-term outcome.
Yep.
Yeah, I was about to say, the problem comes from the people who are like, well, if I hold on to it for 2 years, I bet it'll be way more money. And it's like, no, a lot of these things take time, and you have to be able to hold a sunken cost for a little bit in order to really make it out.
Or be okay with buying it for 1,000, selling it for 1,500, and then 2 years from now buying it for 2,000 and selling it for 2,500, just because that's what the market dictates it is. Like, you have to be okay with that idea of rolling the money into more money to then create more product, to then sell more product. It's just like this threshold, whereas people go, well, I got to hoard this stuff.
That's what it is with a product like this. It's a very high initial entry.
Yes.
And you have to sit on it until everybody else has stopped selling it.
Yeah.
That's kind of where the line is. So, like, a good example, Return to Ravnica and Gatecrash were 2 really good sets when they were brand new.
Yeah.
They had Shocklands, they had Deathrite Shaman, they had a bunch of other good rares in Mythic.
Yep.
They were really good sets. So I stocked up on those boxes when they were getting ready to roll out of production. I was like, well, I don't want to be caught with my pants down. These sets are going to be bonkers. So I got like 100 extra boxes of each set. And everybody apparently had the same bright idea. So those boxes still aren't worth that much more than the retail price was way back then when I got them. Those are like $150, $175 boxes now. And they're like 9-year-old boxes.
Yeah, it's
But then Dragon's Maze, this is the really fun part. To loop it back, Dragon's Maze was a strictly worse set in every way to those sets. Same block, same era. Nobody stocked up on those. Still doesn't have good cards. That box is worth more.
So just,
if you open the packs, the cards are worth less, but the boxes are more scarce.
Yeah.
So with anything, it's just as soon as there isn't any left, then it becomes more scarce and hence more valuable.
Yeah.
So with this thing, and that's the other thing. How many people, like, I personally, I'm hoping to find a few like-minded individuals who want to draft.
This one?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's
like, that's what I want to sit down at a table.
Yep.
And I want to have it be a 4-player draft where we each open 3 packs and draft with them, and we each have a 4th pack that goes into the prize pool, and the winner just takes everything.
Yeah, essentially getting a collector box.
You are crazy.
That's not even that ludicrous. That is something I'm interested in.
I don't want to do that 30 times, but like, that sounds like an awesome, fun use of this. And you know what's really messed up? That could be me and 3 other people sit down. We each put $1,000 into this thing, and then I'm just going to say it. I'm going to win. So now I get all this stuff, and then I'm going to open the packs right in everybody's eye to show them that there was a Lotus in every pack that they handed me, and it's going to be 16 packs, 16 bulk wares. It's going to be a total waste for everybody.
Yeah.
That's going to be a blast. It's going to be fun.
You're paying for like an experience that literally you couldn't get a hold of 12 beta packs unless you shelled out an absurd amount of money this day and age, and you'd have to be confident that they weren't searched and so forth. So that's recreating this once in a lifetime experience, which then for those who want
just
that,
in case there's anybody out there who's looking for that, I can get that stuff where I can have it here in 2 days.
it's probably a worse format too, just because I think beta packs had more basics.
Yeah, the beta packs were unbelievably bad.
Well,
because
draft's not a thing.
Alpha and beta, so like right now you go into I assume, I don't really go into a lot of game stores and dig through their junk boxes, but I assume if you go to most game stores, there's stacks and stacks of basic lands. I know I've got like 150, 200,000 basic lands in my back room.
Yeah.
And I imagine most other stores probably have like 5 to 10,000, because I don't think most other stores keep as much crap as I do. But back then, all the basic lands had to have come from all of those packs. There weren't basic lands just laying around. There weren't people opening thousands of pre-constructed decks or starter decks. Wizards didn't have a land station that they could sell you. They weren't selling full-frame basic land promos. It was just, if you wanted to play, like I remember, this goes way back to when I first started playing. My first deck was a black and white weenie deck. I was playing 4 Black Knight and 4 White Knight, and I was also playing 6 Forests in the deck because I didn't have enough plains and swamps.
Yeah.
So I had 2 different color 2-drops that were double color and 6 basic lands out of my 20 basic lands that could not cast either of them.
The purest
or
of
any
the
other
game.
spell in my deck. Yeah.
Oh man.
And I tell you what, this sounds so weird. I feel like I had more fun playing Magic then, just because it was all brand new.
Well, I had more fun playing.
I envy players that get to jump in and learn how to play the game today, because they get to experience a brand new, so much awesome. Whereas my brand new awesome game was like grizzly bears and crawworms and terrors and paralyzes.
Yeah.
Man, don't trash on Crawworm.
Well, I'm not. That thing was nuts.
Yeah, 6/4 for 6 mana. I can't believe it. No other abilities. Shivan Dragon, the best cards. Shivan Dragon was the best card, and then Sarah Angel, and then I don't know if Singer Vampire ever got played.
Yeah, it was Shivan, Sarah Angel, Singer Vampire, and Mahamodi Vision was also up there on the list.
Oh, the 5/6. Yeah, that card's great.
Yeah, because he could block and kill a Shivan Dragon.
Yes. Yeah. All right, man. So this product as a whole, when people are looking at it, there's still an initial backlash of it, and there's this idea that everybody's going to band together and don't buy this product. But that's not going to change that this thing's going to completely sell out.
How many units do they need to sell for this to be a success? I don't know how much money Wizards of the Coast makes or needs to make to feel like they've done a good job at something.
Yeah.
But if they sell 1,000 of these, that's $1 million in sales that costed them $8,000.
Yeah.
And even on top of that, if they don't sell out somehow, sorry, go ahead.
That's much rounded up because whatever they're printing is, since it's random packs, they have to print full sheets.
Yeah.
So I imagine they're going to print roughly 10% more than the orders.
Yeah.
And then that's it. So there's going to be a small amount of this stuff that's just laying around in an office somewhere, and is obviously going to get found in the 35th anniversary, the 40th anniversary. Like, oh, we found 250 of the promo pack tokens, and to celebrate us finding these, they're legal now. That's the thing I expect, by the way, that these things are just going to suddenly become legal.
Well,
10 years down the road.
The squeeze is on stores. Honestly, I feel as a store owner that doesn't do what you do, that doesn't allow proxies, doesn't allow gold border, is now at this mercy where it's well, I want to sell these if I invest in them, which they might not, but if they do, they're I have to sell a product to my players that can't do anything with them in my own store. That there's a breaking point there.
Yeah, well, and I think that's kind of the unfortunate beauty of the direct-to-consumer system is Wizards gets to say, well, you don't have to sell this to your customers. This isn't for you to sell.
Exactly.
We gave you one as a gift for you to do whatever you want with, but you don't have to sell it. You don't have to do anything with it. You can throw it out for all we care.
Yeah. So,
I think the most interesting thing is because it's a set print run where they've already printed it out, even if somehow they don't sell it all, which I highly doubt, they can easily hold on to it and just resell it at a future date for less because it's testing the waters for $1,000 per set.
Yep.
Well, and what they're actually doing, this is the trend that I've noticed over the past several years. They're testing the water to see how much they can charge for a thing without spending more money making that thing. Because they originally did it, they had draft boosters, and then they said, "Hey, let's make collector boosters. This is going to be awesome." Boom. Collector boosters are now $25. Now they're up to $30 and $35.
Yep.
But that pack doesn't really cost Wizards more to make.
Right.
Because it's still just 15 or 16 cards. I mean, maybe a little bit more. Cause there's
more foiling sheet, yeah.
But we're talking cents, not dollars. It doesn't go from costing them. And I should also mention, when I keep on referring to a pack as costing a little over $2, that's just the cost to buy the pack as a store. It's like $2.43 or something. Wizards is making their profit, their billions of dollars in profit off of selling those packs for that price to us.
Yes.
To me, the store owner.
Well, it's actually not selling it to you directly, are they?
Even less than that.
They're going to your distributor and then to you, correct?
Yes.
So yeah.
From what I've heard from most of my distributors, I had candid talks to them. They say that they make somewhere between 7 and 10% markup on most of the hot products. So like Magic, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, the stuff that they just get it in and then ship it right out to stores. Their profit margin on that's like 7 to 10%.
Yeah.
Now on certain other things like board games and stuff like that, where it's like, okay, we have to buy 200 units or 2,000 units or whatever the number happens to be, but stores aren't lining up to buy 800 copies of most board games. Those things they make a bigger margin on, and then stuff like supplies where it's just like, yep, just keep on sending us sleeves and sleeves and sleeves. They make a lot.
Yeah. I mean, there's a whole discussion to be had about board games and how you can buy literally every single one on Amazon for way cheaper than you get your LGS. But I mean, aside from all that,
yes and no. I agree with that, and this is another one. I'm not like most store owners. If you are looking for a really expensive board game, like your $75 and $100 games, with the rare exception of it being like an exclusive thing that you have to get through a store. So like, there's one or two companies that have a minimum advertised product policy where, as a store, I'm only allowed to buy that product if I sign a contract agreeing not to sell it or advertise it for less than usually 90% of MSRP.
Sure.
Those are the ones that you don't find super cheap very often because we're not allowed to sell them.
Got it.
But like a $75 game, $100, like if you're looking to buy like an Axis and Allies or Song of Fire and Ice, I understand. By all means, I'm not mad at you if you don't shop local and you go buy that on Amazon.
Right.
Because like on Amazon, like there's some of those things I restock from Amazon rather than from my distributor because it's cheaper.
Crazy.
When it gets down to like the $30 mark is about where it starts to make more sense to buy local because like there is definitely a value in buying from your local game store or your local anything store because it keeps those things around. So like if the board game you want to buy is $29.99 at my store and you can get it for $27.50 online, and you say, you know what, I need to save that $2.50, then either I don't care about you because you were never my customer to begin with, or if you patronize my store or any game store for that matter, you're a scumbag. Because that is such a small amount of money for you to say, I'm going to throw my local store under the bus over.
Yeah.
It's, like I said, when you're saving $30-$40, when you can get an extra of that board game, by all means, go buy the big thing. But like if you're saving $2 on Uno, then I don't care about what you think anymore because I can't help you.
Yeah, kick rocks. Essentially, you weren't my target audience. You're not going to make commerce in my store. Get out.
Also, like having a local game store with board games is like nice if you ever just need it. Like I remember I had some friends over and I did run to your store because we needed code names and we picked it up.
Yeah, it's always
like $2 more than it would have been on Amazon, but I drove 5 minutes and had it in my hands right then.
Exactly.
Right, exactly. Well, it's just, I'm not talking just about game stores. Like, go to your local bakery rather than ordering from bakery.com or something.
Oh, agreed.
Yeah. Anything you buy, if you can keep the money local, you're helping your local community.
Yes.
You're doubling the money.
Yeah, it all goes full circle. That thing will stay in business whenever you want to get, hot cross buns. You can just run up to the local bakery and go nuts.
Well, like if I go to Damien and I spend $10 on a card, and then Damien takes that $10 and he goes to a local bakery, we just made $30 in economic value for our city.
Correct.
Yes.
Which is a great thing to have. But yeah, I mean, all right, man. I don't know if there's much more I can say about this 30th anniversary other than be available November 20th if you're interested in getting this. If you're interested in the gambling factor, this is a fun thing to gamble on because this is the highest ticketed item that Magic's ever sold that has a gambling feature to it. I mean, or a randomized pack, whatever you want to call it.
It is the highest price thing that Wizards has set that price on.
What was the highest thing before that? Was it Commander's Arsenal?
Well, this is where we get into a tricky situation because Wizards got rid of MSRP like 5 years ago.
Right. But either way, I remember
it's arguably the highest price thing
on release.
Definitely not Commander's Arsenal because like if you just use the standard like approximately double cost equals MSRP.
Yeah.
Like Ultimate Masters was like $360 a box or something like that.
Yep.
Mythic Edition.
There were,
that like
I was gonna say there's the stuff that you like the Mythic Editions. Those were the big slap in the face to stores. Like, hey guys, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna release a brand new set, and a week before you can go to your local store and you can buy that set, we're gonna sell you a thing that has a box of that set in it and a bunch of cool crap you can only get from us. And it's gonna be $300, $400, $500. I don't remember what they cost.
Either way, they were expensive.
It was a lot of money, and it was like immediately before those people could come by, before we were allowed to sell that stuff. So I was like, okay, so if I had a local customer that was planning to come into my store and buy a box, he might say, oh, you know what? I'm going to buy that Mythic Edition for $400 instead of a box for $150 because then I get all this cool garbage.
Yeah.
And I can't get anywhere. I get these 8 Planeswalkers and like a playmat or a T-shirt or a button or a thimble or whatever stuff they put in there.
Right.
And that means that now that customer, because his amount of money he owns didn't change. He still had that money that he was probably going to spend buying those boxes, and instead went and bought that thing from them right before he could have spent it with me.
Right.
But after I had to be placed and paid for my order to buy those boxes from Wizards.
Right. I mean, I'm as a whole, this product, the 30th anniversary edition, it's a cool thing. I liked when you brought that idea of doing a booster draft on it. I'm intrigued in the product now, especially because you kind of get that idea of it's perfect, where you get everybody throws in a pack, we draft the pack, winner takes all. That sounds fantastic and fun, and then also you could open up a bunch of nonsense and see all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say. People are outraged because they can't afford it, but it was no different than the people that couldn't afford the collector booster at 25 or the VIP boosters that were 100. It's the same people that weren't going to buy those things anyways. And
well, also like Wizards sure picked a bad time to have their 30th anniversary. If this would have been a year ago, I guarantee you, no matter how many of those things they printed, they would have sold them all.
Yeah.
Everybody had their free COVID money to spend on extra stuff.
Yeah.
And then this year, the country's in an economic turndown. And then also we're going into election season, and everything's always tied around election season because everybody's got to turn the screws and make everybody feel like it's worse than it really is.
Right.
But people are spending less money, and then it's also coming into Christmas season. This isn't a thing that most people buy for someone as a Christmas gift.
Oh, it's pretty steep.
And a lot of people have to buy Christmas gifts. So like now a lot of people are like, "Ooh, well, if this had come out in May, I'd have bought 3 of them. But I got to buy Christmas gifts for the wife and the kids and my brother and my mom and this and this and that and that.
Right.
Maybe I'll get one, or maybe I just won't get one. Maybe I'll just hope that there's some out there for $12.50 in March."
Yeah,
That's the same day Bonnaroo tickets go on sale.
Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty nuts, man. But all right, guys, I think we've beaten a dead horse. Damien, thank you for coming on. I mean, you showed us. I mean, you've definitely given us some insight from a store owner's perspective, and just overall, just what goes on behind a store as well too, so people understand like just how things are. Because so many Magic players that I'm sure you talk to give you I'm selling you a card for that you have in your case for 20, but you're only giving me 11. Well, screw you. It's like, well, there's reasons for that, and it's hard for people to kind of grasp that if they don't understand the back of it.
Right.
You're not paying to have. You're not paying the price increase or the markup you're making isn't there to like feed you. It's there or like you're paying. You're not paying. When you go to a game store, you're paying extra for the place that's always going to have what you're looking for.
Correct.
Is what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
Yes.
Damien's always got it, and that's why.
In that situation, when a person comes in and they sell us a card, obviously we have to make a profit. And the way I explain it to people is like, and I'll tell people, like people say, "Well, you're offering me this much. Will I get more if I sell it myself?" Yes, you absolutely will. But you're going to have to do all the work and take all the risk then.
Yeah.
You're paying me to sell your card for you.
Right. And then essentially it's like, well, then what am I doing this for?
Like, you give me that card, like you said, you give me that $20 card, we give you $11, $12. What you've done now is first, when I sell that card for $20, I don't get $20. If I sell that card online, I get $15 to $17 for it, depending on what else got purchased with it, how it had to be shipped, and what site it went through for how much they take as their rate.
Yep.
And then, on top of that, got to pay staff to sort the cards, grade the cards, list the cards, put the cards away in the warehouse, pull the card order, pack the card order. All that stuff is now stuff that you don't have to do. And in exchange, you get $3 or $4 less.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just it's hard for some people to see, but yeah.
Look at the prices on stuff when you're selling things to my store or any store. The bigger your item is, the higher your percentage ends up being. And like I can pay a much higher percentage on your Black Lotus than I can on your Gilded Lotus.
Yeah, of course.
The labor is about the same in both. I still have to pay the fees on both. I still have to ship them both. But like I get to save labor on that bigger thing. I don't have to, like if it costs me $2 in labor to process that Gilded Lotus start to finish, it also costs me $2 in labor to process that Black Lotus start to finish because it's the same steps.
Right. All right, man. Thanks for coming on the show, Damien. We have a few more things to go over because, I mean, as you saw, there's probably a billion things that got released. But thanks for coming on, and I'll probably be reaching out to you if I ever need store knowledge or anything like that. But as for that, you're getting booted. Goodbye. He's out.
Throw him out like that.
We throw him out of the door. I'll get all his information, but yeah, so I don't know how much more we can go into the 30th anniversary, but obviously that's the biggest topic that's going on. Next we're going to go right into we talked a little bit about Post Malone and then Posty. People, I don't know why people hate this. I mean, it's just whatever.
I love it.
I like
it's
Post
gonna
Malone
be
too.
a Zer deck. It's going to be a Zer deck.
Of course.
I like having
Is it?
a poster
Zer is just the
someone to
name.
represent Magic.
Yeah,
He's
dude.
the
Post
most
Malone's a
popular
good
player. He's the most popular Magic player.
By a lot,
Next.
and it's not even close. Well, maybe PewDiePie, but that's it.
Yeah, people
this guy's
hate
way
PewDiePie.
bigger.
Well, anything that's popular equals hate. I mean, people hate Metallica, but they're also like playing on every continent because they think it's cool, even though it's lame. Next, Universes Beyond for 2024. This hasn't been disclosed as secret layers as of yet, but this is probably going to have the Transformer effect where we're going to be playing Final Fantasy. I don't know if they dictated which ones they're going to be coming out with, and then Assassin's Creed, which there's a huge, like, that's like a yearly or every 2-year game that they come out with for every major console. I played the first Assassin's Creed. I have no connection to that story at all, but there are fanatics out there that absolutely love this.
So I wanted to actually talk about that real quick. My roommate is like a huge Assassin's Creed fan. Like he has a tattoo and everything.
Oh, okay.
And I told them they were coming out with this, and I think it's gonna do exactly what Wizards wants, because he even said, he was like, I don't play Magic, but I'm gonna buy these cards.
Yep, that's exactly what they did with The Walking Dead, right?
Yeah, he was like, I just want them because it's gonna be Assassin's Creed on a card, and you can't get that anywhere else.
No. And then Final Fantasy obviously has a huge market, especially because it's a game that's been running since 1988. I think is one of the first one, and it's been just like a mainstay in it's pretty much set up the JRPG and then so forth. So obviously Final Fantasy VII is the big one because they also have a game coming out that's part 2, which whatever you want to call that, and then the multitude of that. But yeah, that'll be fun. I'm all for this stuff. I used to be really salty and want to be a purist about this stuff. It's not worth that. So, I mean, if you don't want it, don't buy it, right? Not every product is for you. And then, just in case you forgot, the secret layer for Libra came out. It's another basic land cycle. This is an interesting thing because you can buy any of these all throughout the year. They're not limited, but eventually when the door closes on 2023, that's it. So it's pretty interesting. If you miss, there's no missing the boat on this. You can still buy any of these.
I'm still waiting for my Gemini ones.
I think these things would have been more desired, honestly, if they just didn't come out with so many sweet basic lands. Like, this was the wrong year to do that. Mm-hmm.
Charge $40, make it a 4 of, and each of them should have been a dual land.
Yeah, you could do that.
But I don't know what you would do with the last two, because there's 12. Well, yeah. Is there 10? There's 10 signs, right?
Yeah.
There's 12.
Oh, there's 12.
Yeah.
Whatever. Dual lands would have been way cooler. Like shock lands, fast lands. I don't care. I'm so sick of basic lands.
Yeah, that's it. I don't get it. The news came out today about the Warhammer Secret Layer of Orcs, which was the missing tribe from Warhammer, and I think this is making people happier because now you can get Orcs as well too, which, so be it. I don't know what that Secret Layer is all going to include, but I wonder if it's going to be a Secret Layer commander deck, which would be just like a huge, like, oh my god moment.
They showed one card.
Yeah. Aggravated Assault.
It's full art.
Yeah, they showed it. I didn't get the picture for it, but
what I meant more is I feel like it probably won't be a commander deck.
Yeah.
Like, none of the other ones came with full art. I don't think they. Well, I guess the coin flip one came with full art, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, that one is still in like production issues, but
that still hasn't come out.
Yeah. All right. Josh, take us out with a hot take, and then the after show. If anybody wants to stick around, you can hop in the call, and you can talk to us, and we can talk about what we going over today. Other than that, I didn't see any questions on there that people really went over in the chat, but thank you for the first-time streamers or first-time chatters. Thank you for visiting the live show, and then Josh, get us the hell out.
It's Thursday, so it's not a hot take. We're just spitting facts. The Mythic or the 30th anniversary edition is worse than the NFL's concussion protocol. It's Thursday. Go home.
Bada boom, bada bing. All right, that's a wrap. That was a lot.
In the shower. Bye.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
All right, Josh.
No one's here.
Yeah, it's all right.
Get wrecked, kid.
Whatever this is.
Nobody wants to talk to us.
Yeah, get out.